Yesterday we learned some basic command, how to traverse through directories and creating files, folders, moving them here and there, and editing a file, stopping a file. So today, let's change it to 18. Okay, what we did yesterday, if I press history, if I type history and I press enter, so whatever command we used yesterday, the history is building up. We use all these commands. So if I am working on something and I want to know, or if someone else is working and I want to know what he has done, you can go into the history. And you see, sometimes we can configure something and we forget what we did, so we can always go back to history and we can see what we did last time. And there is one more command, uptime. Sorry, uptime. So I have just booted up this machine. So uptime is 6 minutes. Sometimes someone reboots the computer or your VM is rebooted. So you should know what's the uptime of your machine, because sometimes your junior restarts the machine and they don't agree that they have restarted it. And you can see that this machine is rebooted. By who? You can see it's a system reboot. By who? Who was last time logged into your machine? The IP address is like 16.1. I am 16.1 maybe. Of course, I am 16.1 because I'm still logged in with 16.1. So with this last command, who you can see who logged in last time. And this is just for information. You should know these things. And today we will learn. Let's go to var log and more messages. Okay. What you can do is you can do either do cat or more to see a log file. Okay. I am pressing space. If I go with enter, it will go line by line. If I press space bar, it will go page by page. But if I want to read the last 10 lines, okay, let's clear it up. So I want to see the tail of this file, and I want to read the last 10 lines of this file. Maybe I have some log file. I want to look at the last error log, what happened. So I can go with the last 10 lines. I mean, there can be millions of entries in a log file. I can go with last 100 lines. I can go with 1,000 lines. Or what I can do is I can say tail minus F. I am pressing enter few times. So I can see if there is any entry coming into this log file. Now this is live log running. Let's say I'm opening a separate session. You see, whenever I'm trying to connect with a different username, I have opened a duplicate session. You cannot see it, of course, because I have not shared the screen. So these 4 entries came. If I type in username, password, or if I open another session, you see there is some more information coming in. So what you can do is you can read live log file because you want to see some error, you want to know the behavior or whatever you want to know. You can tail a file, or what you can do is if you want to read it from the start, you can read first 10 line. Okay, let me clear it. If you want to read first 10 lines, so if you want to read the head of a file, I mean the starting of a file, you can use the head command. So tail will give you the last entry coming into the file, and head will give you the first entry, first 10 entries, or you can specify how many lines from this start you want to read. So that's how you go with tail and head. Plus, we were discussing df minus h. So df minus h is, you can see your file system. This SDA1 and SDA3, these are the only two mount points. SDA1 is boot, from where our kernel is installed. From here, our system is booting, and SDA3 is our root partition. And these all are mounted on this. I mean, only the root is mounted, and these are the folders created on root. There is no separate partition available for dev or run, or I mean, there is run only. And if I go to root, and if I do ls minus lh, if I go ls minus l, so it will show you the size of a file in bytes. And if I do ls minus lh, h means human readable format. So it will tell you it's in 4K, 3K, or gigabytes or megabytes. And we discussed, but no, we skipped something. From the presentation, you can go to the Linux presentation. This is our boot. Our kernel and boot devices are here. Dev. In this directory, we are discussing the file system. We have our devices like the hard disks. In etc, we have our configuration files. If we are installing Apache, if we are installing Nginx, so all the configuration files go to etc, or the system configuration file goes to etc. The home is the directory of the users. If I have Zishan, if I want to search for Zishan, I can go in home, and I will find the home directory of Zishan in this folder. And lib is for libraries, the shared libraries. lib64 is the 64-bit libraries. Media is used to, the USBs or portable devices are connected here. And in OPT, we mostly install the optional packages. The proc folder is for the processes, and root is, okay, this is directory root, and this root is the root folder. It is the home of a root user. And then this is temp, the temporary files. Whenever a process is running, there are sometimes temporary files are created, and they are created in this directory. And the user binaries are available in USR, and in the var we have the variables like the log files of many types. Let's go in var log. So whenever we go in the var, we mostly go into the logs, and there are some logs of the system dmessage. The system login is coming in dmessage, and in mail log, if we are running a mail server, the mail logs are coming here, and so on. The Samba logs, NTP stats, and so on. So let's say I want to read a file. Let's say tail minus f d message. Let's say I want to read it. Let's assume we have a very huge file, and I want to grab only this entry. So what I will do is, I want to read a file. So I will do more d message. I will say pipe, this is the pipe sign, and I will ask it, grab this word and only print the lines with lapic underscore nmi. Okay. Still, it has many occurrences. So maybe you want to sort it. So if I do sort minus n, it will sort it in ascending order. Let's say I want to see uniq minus n. uniq minus c. Minus c, sorry. There is no Unix in SNH, so everything is different. Okay, if there is any unique entry, it will tell you that this entry is coming up twice. So these are all different messages. I have no log file here, no real log file. Otherwise, I can show you how to. I'll read some other file. Let's say, ignore its uniqueness. Let's say I want to only grab this. I want to only print this column, let's say. So I can cut -d delimiter. Delimiter is I am using colon as a delimiter. There is this colon. I can take colon. I can take this bracket. I can take this colon. I can take space as a delimiter, or I can use this bracket as a delimiter, depending on what I want to filter. So let's say if I am taking colon as a delimiter and I am saying print the field 1. So you can see if I don't use this. So I wanted to, as I was telling you, I wanted to print this column. So rest is useless for me. So if I do this, we have only this column available. Let's say I want to further filter it out, and I can use now this bracket as delimiter. So cut -d delimiter is this bracket. And now I want to print the field 2. The field 1 is the left side of the bracket, this bracket, and field 1 is the right side of this bracket. So I have now ACPI only this entry. Now I can use the switch. Again, I will go with pipe unique uniq -c. So this entry is coming 128 times. So when we are now, I am selecting this thing ACPI, but maybe you are trying to get an error that how many times this error is coming, how many times that error is coming, or maybe you're running a web server and you are feeling some awkward behavior that your server is under a lot of load. So you want to see how many connections one IP is making. So you have very big in the log files, it is telling you this IP is connecting to this browser, it's browsing this URL, this is the date and time, and so much information. But you want to see the IP address only. So you can filter out the IP address and you can sort it. After sorting, you get the uniqueness and number of the occurrence. Maybe one IP is making 10,000 connections, and you see, okay, this might be doing some fishy activity, and you can go and block it in the firewall. So that's how we read log files, and we can filter the output very easily. That's why log files are easy to read in Linux file system, and it is easy to troubleshoot where the error is coming, because you can read really, really huge files by doing this. The other advantage of getting Unix systems to open big files is that in when we use Windows, if you want to open a text file or a Word file, when you double click it, the file is loaded into the memory, and then it opens up, and you can do whatever you want to do. But the problem is, if you have a file, the size of a file is, let's say, 10 gigs, and your memory is 8 gigs. If you want to open that file, you cannot open it. And even if it opens up, there is no memory. So it will start your page files to write the memory on your disk, and then start using your disk as a RAM. But then the operation becomes so slow that your computer goes very slow, and searching and sorting becomes very difficult. Linux just starts reading the file from head to tail, or line by line, or page by page. It doesn't open up a file in the memory, and that's why it is way more efficient than Windows. So in this command, if you want to if you're not understanding the syntax, or if there is any confusion, you can ask me. So I think I can repeat it again. I am reading a file more. Then pipe, I want to use some. Grep is a command, and this is the argument. I want to grep this word, this thing. It could be, I am just using LAPIC. It could be an error. It could be an IP address. It could be any field you want to grep. The particular information you want to.
Command is used for selecting.
Grep is used for selecting.
Okay.
Sort -n, it will sort. Okay, again, whatever is the output, I can go with the pipe sign again, and I will sort it with this with sort -n. It is pretty much default. Okay, I am done with the sorting. Let's say then again pipe sign. I want to take out some field, maybe field 1, maybe field 2. Let's say, I don't know, if I go with the field 2, in the field 2, the word high edge int, this is coming 128 times. If I go with the field 3, I don't know what's in the field 3, I am just going it random. So there is just space bar, which is happening 128 times. So that's how you cut out the field. I am cutting out another field, and then I am finding some uniqueness in the logs. So that's how you read a log file, or yep. Plus, we had some var backup. So we have these files, data and data 2 available. So my files are gone, and I searched for those files yesterday. They find a file in var and with minus name abc static. So these are our files. Let's say I want to know, okay, I don't remember the file name. I just want to, let me check what's written in the file. Yeah, hello class. So I am standing in var. Let's say
How do
grep.
you check what's written in the file? Like,
I
what
was
did you
reading
just
it.
do?
I was reading it.
Okay.
Like more, you can do a more to var
Okay.
backup data to abc.txt. You can do cat, you can do more, or you can open the file for vi with editing. I opened it with vi, but I had no intention to change anything, so I saved it without, I quit it without saving. So let's
Okay.
say I want to find a file who has the word hello class in it. So if I do it, I will grab the word hello class, and I will tell the directory. Either I can go with var, or I can go with the word dot. Dot means this directory. If you want to search in var, I can go in var. If I can go var backup, I will search this a file containing hello class in var backup. So you can go either way. You can go like this, and it is telling you that hello class is in all these files. So you can search a file with its content. If you don't remember the
Can I
name,
just put the path like just a slash var?
if you, I mean, slash var like this,
Yes.
yes, then it will, I'm searching in var backup. If you start searching in var, there are, many files in var. There are the log directories, there are many things. So now it will take time, because it will go read every file and search for hello class. So now, again, hello class is actually a word which cannot be present in any other file. So it has, again,
Got it.
but you can do with the root also.
So what's that minus R does? Like if you add
It goes
minus
with
R,
minus or normally, okay. If you find a command and you don't know what the switch is doing, you can go with man, open a manual for grep command. So you don't need to go to internet. You have all the switches details available.
okay.
You see?
Mhm.
So much information.
Okay.
Minus R,
Close it.
read all files under each directory recursively. When we were doing rm minus rf, then again I was using minus R. R is for recurseful action.
Got it.
And you can get examples in it. And I can type quit, Q for quit. So if you want to get help of any switch, you can open the manual. Every command's manual is available on your machine.
Got it.
So that's how we search a file. We grep, if you want to grep anything, you can grep. Grep means select anything. If spaces are coming, it is better to quote your string. If there are no spaces, you can go without using the quotes. And then we can go with we have the history. We were done with the history, tail, head, less. Okay, grab the grab music. Let's go to backup again, and let's go to data again. Okay, we removed data yesterday with rm minus rf static. So what I will do is rm. Okay, you cannot delete the directory using rm. You can remove the file using rm, and it will ask you want to delete this file, and you will say yes. But if you want to delete a directory, you cannot delete it like that. So you will go with rf. recursively, so and forcefully. So directory is deleted with always deleted with minus RF switch. So now we have data 2 available. That's why I made a copy of it yesterday. And let's say we want to, actually the size of this file is very small. So let's copy some file from var log messages and copy it here. Here means dot. Dot means in this directory where I am standing, or I can give the full path. So I am already standing here. So I am using dot. And if I do ls, I have this messages copied from this var log location. So if I do ls minus lh here, the size of messages is 606K. I want to compress it. So there is a default package gzip available. And what I can do is I can say compress or zip messages. So if I go with ls minus lh, the size is reduced from 606K to 87K. And this gz extension comes in front of the file. So it means all the gz files are the zip files.
And to unzip?
Yeah, of course, if you have to lock it, you have to unlock it. So it's either unzip. If unzip is not available, then gunzip. G unzip. This is the default package. So if I do unzip ls minus lh, again it's 606K. So these gzip, because I was using gzip, so I will use g unzip. I should use the same package. So that's how you compress a file. You can compress the whole folder. Like if I want to compress gzip everything is compressed. ls minus lh, everything is compressed. If I want to unzip everything, I can uncompress everything. So let's go one step back. Okay, what you want to do is you don't want to compress all the files individually. You want to make you want to compress the whole directory, not individual files, because if you are if you have witnessed, you are trying to copy some data from your machine or your laptop to your flash drive, and if the files are very, very, very small and there are thousands and thousands of files, so it will take a lot of time to copy all those files. If you have a big file, it is very easy and quick to move to your USB drive or your portable drive. So if the file size is 1 KB and there are millions of files, so it will take a lot of time to take those 111 KB files. So the better way is to compress the whole folder. Collect all files, put it into a folder, compress that folder, make one bigger file and copy it. But the problem is, if you want to gzip data2, if I want to zip the complete folder, oh, data2 is a directory, I cannot do it. So then what we do, excuse me, we make a tarball. What's a tarball? Tarball is like you are putting everything and wrapping it in the paper or making ball out of it. So what we do is we can do tar minus cvf data 2 dot tar, and I should run this command here. And if I do ls minus lh, I can see there is a data2 dot tar. I will explain the command in a minute. So this data2 dot tar has all the contents of data2, and then I can perform gzip data2 dot tar, and if you can see, the extension is now tar.gz. So I have made a tarball of all those files, collected all those files, make for one file out of them, and then I have compressed it, and now I have one file which I can move wherever I want to. Normally these the backups are we make backup we make tar of a backups folder, and then we can move it to other system. It's more efficient, and it is easy to manage and easy to carry. And if I want to untar it, first we should discuss tar. We will go later with the untar. Minus C. Now we are using few switches. Minus C is to compress. Minus V is verbose. I mean, while compressing, show all the output, and F are the files. Make this tarball. I can call it data2.tar, or I can give it any name .tar. But if I was making a backup of data2, then I should, it's a better way. I mean, I feel it a better way to just name it accordingly. And then I will give that all the files in this data folder. You can make a tarball out of it. Now, if I go to untar it, ls minus ls. Now, first this file is compressed, and then the tar, then this is tar. First, you have to unzip it, then you have to untar it. So either we can go with gunzip data2.tar.gz ls minus lh. So gz extension is gone. Now I can do tar minus x. X is to decompress, or I mean, or detar it. Tar minus x vf and data2.tar. So it has, I mean, actually data2 is already available. So what I can do is I can go with rm minus rf data2. So let's see, data2 is gone. And if you see, now I have untarred it, so data2 is available and with all the contents. So I have deleted data2. You can check it with the history. I mean, I'm not. Yes, I have rm minus rf. I have recursively deleted it. And when I perform the untar operation, so it has decompressed it. And now you have the data available. Any confusion in this file? Or is this command tar? Why we use it?
So is it we are basically converting a directory so that we can zip it?
We can zip it and we can move it.
Okay.
So tar is done. File directories are done. grep is done. Okay. Let's say I have a file. I go into the directory home. I go in Zishan. I create some file touch abc.txt. I can say hello, echo, echo hello, and send it to the file abc.txt. Now,
Echo is used for?
echo is you can print anything with the word echo. What I can do is I can open a file abc.txt, go in insert mode, and then type hello. Okay. So what I did was I I printed the word hello, and what other printing it on the screen, I have just sent that output to the abc.txt. Let's see abc.txt. There is a word hello in text file. Okay. If I say hello 1, and I will use this single greater than sign, and I will do read abc.text. Hello is gone and hello 1 is there. I mean, it's overwriting a file. Let's say I want to, what I want to do is I want to go first hello 1, then hello 2. So I should not be overwriting. What I want to do is if I use double this greater than sign, so what it will do is it will append it to the last line. So now if I go with abc.txt, view have hello 1 and hello 2.
Okay, got it.
You see the difference, right? So let's say I have a very huge log file. I can tell another command right away, and I want the system space is all used up, and you are not able to do anything. So what will be your most immediate reaction? You want to delete some log file, so and you will say, okay, I can delete it. I can recreate this log file. At least I will free up some space. But there is always a chance that that file has some permissions, and while creating that file again, you might not use those permissions. So you will end up having some issue. So it is always better to don't delete a file. It is always better. The best thing is you can move it to some place, take a backup of it if you have space available. Otherwise, you can say cat dev null to that file. Now, I am reading the null value and sending it to the file. Now what I can do is if I can do abc.txt, there is nothing in that file. So I have pushed null value in the file with, and the permissions will remain same, the file will remain same. So I don't have any permission issues in it. So I can push null value to any file and everything will be gone. It is better than deleting the file, the system. We should do it. We should go it with the system file like this way. Now, what I was telling you, yes.
So the data will be still safe, or it will be gone. Like
Now it
do
will
we
be
have
gone.
data of it?
No, we have no data available. We have entered a null value.
Okay,
The
so
data
can
is
we get
gone.
that data back?
No, there is no way you can get a data back. That's why I was telling you the better approach is, if you have this file in a directory and the directory is full, if you have some other directory, it is better idea to copy the file first and then null it.
Okay.
And you know how to copy it: CP, the file name, and the destination directory or the folder. So now let's say I have abc.txt and I say hello2 and hello1. This is my file. And now I want to switch to user Zishan. Okay, fine. I have this file available. Let's say vi abc.txt. I want to type Shift G, Shift A. Oh, enter abc, escape, more abc.txt, ls-ali, and the file is edited. Let's say the file has a owner Zishan. If I say chown change owner to root for this file. Oh, I cannot do it. I am not a super user. I should go into the root, and now I will do it. The ownership is now root, and the group is Zishan. So let's switch back to user zwshin and try to edit this file. Let's type xyx. Can I change it? Okay, if I am in my own directory, the user is switched from root to Zishan again. So let's try something else. I should go out of Zishan. I can go in var mkdir. Okay, go into the log and touch some file here. Touch abc.txt and check if ls-ali. What's the permission? This is the root user. Then su minus pwd log and vi abc.txt insert abc. It is giving me a warning, but okay, yeah. I cannot write this file. Actually, I was in the home directory, so that was my directory. I was the owner, so I could have done anything. But you see, I cannot edit this file which is outside my directory, because ls-ali. This file has, oh sorry, ls-ali abc.txt. This file is owned by user root, and Zishan can read it because we will discuss the permissions later. Okay, I am telling you this is for other users other than root. This file is read only. I can see it from here. I will tell you how to read the permissions. But let's say Zishan cannot edit it. But if I go to root again, I can say change owner Zishan abc.txt. Let's switch back to su minus zwshin and vi var log abc.txt. Let's say I want to insert something. Now it is done. I am with the user Zishan, because that file's ownership is Zishan. So as a root user, if you want to give access to someone for some file, you can change the ownership of that file, or you can change the permissions of that file. So now ls-ali, sorry, I is for, okay, let's say what ali is. I was typing ls-al, but if you add another switch I, so it will tell you the inode number also of that file. Inodes are every sector is represented with the inode number. So when you're partitioning a disk, you have that sectors available, and that every sector is represented with this inode number. So ls-al, every switch will give you some more information. ls-al abc.txt. So after changing the user to Zishan can edit it. So how you do it? Change CHOWN, change on. If I go to history, change on. That's like that. Change group. You can change group of a file to Zishan. Now if I do ls-al, ls-ali, abc.txt, the user is Zishan, the group is Zishan. If I want to use a single command, change on minus, okay, change on Zishan. Sorry, I want to change it to root abc.txt ls-al abc.txt. So in a single command, I have changed user and group. And if you want to change the content of a folder, then you again use -r here recursively with all the folders, subfolders, directories, subdirectories, every file, and you can say static here. So it will change the permissions of a complete directory. Got it?
Yes, got it.
Okay, so one more thing. You can right click any directory and check the space, right? Wrong. You don't have a right click available here. So I go into the log directory and I can see du-h. And it says du-h has 5.7 MB available. So this log directory contains 5.7 MB of data. So you du-h. If I use du-h for, let's say, home, it can tell you that Zishan has 28 KB available. Let's say I do it like this on root. It will tell you by going through every file and calculating the size of every file, it can tell you the amount of data available in the root directory. It's 5.1 G. Let's say df-h. So 5.1 G. This is 5.1 G available on root. So du-h to get, and you can see 3.9 GB is taken by the USR directory because all the user binaries and everything, user files goes in this user directory. Okay, I want to see df-h, and let's say if I want to grab the word G. Oh no, du-h. du-h of root. So it can highlight. I mean, I've used very lame switch, but let's say it can tell you that these folders are with 5. This is total space. User is 3.9 GB, and this is 1.4 GB. Maybe you can get which directory is the biggest one, so you want to delete some files from there. So you can use grep anywhere. You can filter anything with this word G. With this word grep, sorry. So that's how du works. Now, G is done here, G is done. So I think nobody asked question today. So I think I'm going way too fast. So everybody's getting it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the root directory and do the ls. If you do ls, you can print your contents. So you can list your contents. ls -al. It can show you the files with the dot extension. If you only do ls -l, it can list the content, but it will not show you the file starting from dot. So with a switch, it will show you some more files starting from the word dot. Dot files are actually, these are the sort of hidden files. And let's go to root.ssh. So mostly our keys are stored here. We used this directory yesterday when we were authorizing our public key. If you remember, I have in my putty session, I have used one key and copied it here and moved it to this authorized keys file so that I can log in without entering a password. So this section, pwd, so root ssh, dot ssh, it is hidden by default. So if I go with, okay, I will not be allowed to go, let's see, su-weshan. If I go to root, permission denied. So you might be thinking, if I can use the A switch, so anybody can go there. No, I am the root, so I can see my own files. And then there is one more thing, get enforce. What get enforce will tell you that your security enhanced Linux, SE Linux, is enabled on your system. Most of the time, I mean, almost every time, until you are working in some, you have some compliance requirement, or you have very, very secure and secret data, this SE Linux is disabled. Even if VMware starts to try installing something on a machine, the first thing they do is they disable this SE Linux, because it gives you so much problems and it is so difficult to tackle. And how to disable it? Just set enforce 0. Now if I do get enforce, it has gone from enforcing to permissive. Like, it will log what's happening, but it will not stop it from happening. It's like IDS, it's detecting the threat but not preventing it. But if you will reboot your system, it will again go into the enforcing mode. So to permanently disable it, etc SC Linux config and set it enforcing to permissive. And now when your system will reboot, it will remain permissive. The other thing is service firewall D status. So the firewall is running. If we have a firewall at data center level and we are controlling everything from there, so what we will do is we will do service firewall D stop. If I do it stop, and I will take the status again, so the green sign is gone, it's not active, so it is inactive, dead. Because mostly, if you don't have any firewall, you might be using the system firewall, but in mostly organizations, the firewall is by default off, because they have a professional perimeter firewall or other firewalls installed. But if I will reboot this machine, this firewall will be started automatically. So what I can do is chk config firewall D off. So this command will permanently turn it off, and with on command, it will, I mean, you can go with any service. It can be firewall, it can be SSH, it can be anything. You can permanently turn off a service by typing off in front of service, and you can type on, and it will be started with when the machine will reboot. So I'm going with the off, because we will be running the Apache servers, databases. So if the firewall is enabled, we have to apply many rules to get our service through, and I don't want to waste time there. So that's how you enable a service, you disable a service. So let's go to history. You grab files, you grab text in the files, and with ls, you what's the meaning of word switch? A for all. If you don't want to print all files, you can just go with the L switch. If you want to see the inode numbers also, you can go with the I. And then man ls, there can be so many more switches, which we don't use mostly. So I don't know. -v, -u, do not sort, list entries in directory. And I have not used any of the switch. There are so much. So ls. So if you want to explore it further, you can go and see the manual. At least you know what ls command is. So pretty much the course is over for today, and even I am gone to the next class also. But any questions here?
No.